What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of In Cahoots Podcast. My name is Nikki.
And I'm Melissa.
And today we are coming at you with another video, another blind reaction, true blind reaction video.
And today's video is Down Low and Dirty. Dirty sounds like it would go with down low.
Down low and dirty.
A few moments later.
And today's video is Down Low and Dangerous, the Detroit House Party Massacre.
Sheesh. Anything to do with the down low, I'm with it, because the last video that we saw where oh boy was down low and he like pew, pew. Like that was something interesting. So
that was something interesting.
When I hear down low, I'm wondering is like, did somebody like out you and then you went to pew 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 pew?
Well,
like,
let's see what happens at this house party.
All right, yo, before we get into this video, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We are on the way to 3,000 subscribers.
3,000.
And we need your help, which means we need you to share this video with everybody that you know, your friends, your coworkers, your grandmama, your grandpapa, your dog, your cat, your fish, your pet Ralph. I don't care.
Everybody.
Please share the video and encourage everybody to subscribe. Let's get there together. Also, while you're at it, make sure you comment. Leave us a comment on the video. Let us know how you feel. And then also turn on your post notifications so that you know every single time we post. You ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Let's get into the video.
In the spring of 2019, a group of 20-somethings spent their weekends partying at a friend's house in East Detroit. On one of these nights, in the early morning hours, the unthinkable happened. Jokes and dancing turned to terror when a man in a mask burst through the door, armed with a gun, and began firing. The attack left 3 friends dead, and the remaining 2 witnesses wounded. Those that survived did not get a clear view of the shooter. Nonetheless, they could point to one person who they believed could have a twisted motive to murder them all. And they had met him only hours before. On Friday, May 25th, 2019, a group of friends in East Detroit were partying at a friend's house. It had been a night filled with noise and drama, drinks, dancing, hookups, and arguments. In the early morning hours, just 5 of the partiers were left in the house: Blair Keys, Paris Cameron, Alante Davis, Armand Matthews, and Timothy Blanchard. They were relaxed and winding down amongst the mess of the construction taking place in the house and the remnants from a night of partying. The mood was laid back, and they were joking about the events of the night when they heard what they assumed must be fireworks going off by the front door. Through the door came a man wearing a mask, gun in hand, firing at the group indiscriminately. The attack lasted only moments. Blair Keys emerged from where he had fled into the bathroom to find his friends, Paris Cameron and Alante Davis, wounded in the living room.
Can you please have somebody come to this?
What's the address, ma'am? What's the street name?
That's the site.
What's going on at the location, ma'am?
No, I had a gay mail. I apologize.
That's okay.
Somebody just came in and shot up the house. And 2 of my friends are fatally wounded. It is the site.
Okay, baby. Sir, I'm requesting you to the location now. Are there any injuries?
Yes, serious injuries that you can get right here as soon as possible. Please, please.
I'm requesting, did you see who did the shooting?
So,
I mean, I could have sworn he said fatally injured.
Clearly said. Somebody came in and shot us up.
Man.
Is anybody injured?
What? Only the one that's fatally injured. Like what?
The 2 that are fatally injured. Lord.
Shot in the chest, did what he could to help another seriously wounded friend, Timothy Blanchard. From the other level of the house, he too placed a call to 911.
Detroit 911 is the emergency.
Yes. Good, please, get emergency. Somebody just came in and shot my friends.
Okay.
And ambulance, please, an emergency ambulance. I was on, I've been broke. Oh my God.
Blair later recalled hearing over 20 shots while hiding in the bathroom. For those in his sight, the gunman had been unforgiving. Alante had been shot twice. Both Timothy and Paris had been struck 4 times. When emergency responders arrived on scene, they found Alante in the dining room, already deceased. Similarly, despite Armand's best efforts, it was too late to save Timothy. Paris was rushed to the hospital for treatment. As an organ donor, she was kept alive for a time, though ultimately, she too passed away from her injuries. "20-year-old Paris Cameron came out as gay when he was just 13 years old. 1 year before the shooting, Paris began to identify as a transgender woman. Her good friends at the party that night were likewise out and proud. 20-year-old Timothy Blanchard, or Miami as his friends knew him, is remembered as a fun-loving and kind young man. He was close with his family, particularly his older brother, Devil. 21-year-old Alante Davis was known as just Tay to his friends. His sister recalled he was silly, he was full of life, he was helpful. Armand Matthews recovered from the gunshot that he had sustained to his chest. It had been a serious wound that had nonetheless first escaped his notice while he desperately tried to render aid to Timothy. Blair Keyes was also fortunate to escape the house that night alive. There were 2 additional partygoers that had spent most of the night at the house, though they left before the shooter arrived. The homeowner, 29-year-old Lance Atterbury, and Brendan Suttle, who had only recently met and began dating Armand. When the shooting took place, these 2 were across the city at Brendan's home, where they spoke with his mother and packed a bag with some belongings. From there, they drove back to the house on Devonshire Road. When they arrived at the house, they were met with caution tape, ambulances, police cruisers, and horrific news. Neither Blair nor Armand was able to formally identify the shooter at the scene. A ski mask had covered all but his eyes. Blair reported his complexion was light and his eyes were brown. The man in the mask had been visible for only a moment before he began firing, yet the surviving partygoers had their suspicions. Earlier in the night, the group had made a quick trip to the BP gas station on the corner of Devonshire and Mac. While they were there, Paris made a new friend. At 2:40 a.m., Paris and Alante entered the shop. Paris was dressed in all black with a Nike cap. Alante wore a camo-style top and a hat as well. Lining up for the cashier behind and to the left was a young man who caught Paris's eye. He had entered the store only a minute before, grabbed a juice from the cooler, and stood in line. After a moment or 2 of contemplation, Paris clearly made up her mind, and she broke free from Alante to speak with the young man at the doorway. Their interaction was off camera. Moments later, the larger group entered. Blair led the way around the corner to the coolers, followed by Alante. Timothy wore a pink tank top and was followed by Paris. What is curious is that the mystery man in the camouflage jacket and shorts first paid for his drink and headed towards the door. There, he paused to briefly chat with Paris. Then he began to leave the station. Cameras outside showed that as he left, Paris called out to him. There was no audio, but it seems that this prompted him to return to the store. The group was captured inside the shop again. It was unclear exactly what was said. Blair recalled only that Paris was being overtly flirtatious. As the group exited, they got into Blair's car, which had been parked around the side of the shop, just out of view of the external camera. Pulling out towards the road, Paris leaned out the window and called after the young man once more. She gave him the address of Lance's house on Devonshire Road. They were having a party. He should come by, she said. The young man that Paris invited to the house party was 18-year-old Devin Robinson. He had attended one of the same grade schools as Armand years before, and he lived locally. Only 2 blocks over, in fact, on Buckingham. 20 to 30 minutes after their encounter at the gas station, Devin arrived at the house. He had accepted Paris's invitation to the party. Heavy levels of intoxication go some way to explaining what happened next.
That's why you gotta be careful who you just randomly meet and then invite to your house and just start kicking it with.
Right.
Like, you do not know who you are talking to, especially these days.
So let me get this straight. So he did end up going there and having
Messing around. Yeah.
yes, some sort of yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But then, like, don't nobody want to, like, I'm sure that he didn't like being called a trade. And that probably threw everything off for him, because usually, like, straight men, if they are trade, they don't want to, like, don't put a mirror in their face. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're already ashamed, but it's like,
or in denial, or
down low, you know? So, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But that's still, like, you gotta be careful.
Really
People
do.
are different these days. Like, I don't know.
The investigation then sought to piece together the 18-year-old's movements after first encountering the group at the gas station through to the time of the shooting. They did so by linking camera footage from across the neighborhood. After receiving his invite to the house party, they tracked Devin walking back towards his house on Buckingham. What they found was that on his way, he routinely paused, backtracked as though he wanted to return to the group. Then he would turn around and carry on. Eventually, he made his way over to Devonshire. He was at the house on Devonshire for approximately an hour, most of that time spent in the master bedroom. The same external BP station cameras caught his trip home after his activities at the house party. He stopped at the shop once more. But this time, cameras captured him pacing in front of the door, spitting onto the ground, leaning over, and gagging. Devin then entered the store and purchased another drink. By 4:02 a.m., he had returned home. The shooting took place less than an hour later. After determining Devin Robinson's address, officers arrived at his home on Buckingham to find that he and his mother Mallory had inexplicably moved out of the house the day after the murders. A roommate who remained there said only that they left in a hurry. Police released images of Devin to the media and asked for the public's help in locating him. It took over a week, but an anonymous tip was received that led Detroit PD to a house on the other side of the city. They arrested Devin Robinson with the intent to charge him for 3 counts of intentional homicide. When the 18-year-old sat down with detectives, they began by laying all of their cards on the table. They knew he was the shooter, they said. They knew what had transpired earlier in the night that had caused him to snap.
I don't want you to say anything right now, but we know that you're responsible for shooting. They had to secure enough to arrest you for the homicide. Now, we know some other things that happened prior to that. We know some things that they did to you that was not cool prior to that. We know that you were intoxicated prior to that. And when it took you back to the house, you know that things happened. Okay? We know exactly what you did, but we want to know why you did what you did. What was your emotional state during that time? We goes on and did what you did. But we both men too, and we understand we might have did the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Detectives told Devin that if he opened up, they could be his advocate to the prosecutor's office. They lied further when they told him that his DNA was found all over the scene. At that time, Devin conceded that he had spent time with Paris in the master bedroom, but he refused to admit being with any of the other men. However, the only DNA of his that investigators had managed to retrieve was on Timothy, not Paris. Devin admitted to detectives that he was a closeted gay man. He was on the down low. he did not admit to murder.
That's the thing. Don't nobody know that. Don't nobody know what? Don't nobody down low shit. For you? Yeah. Okay. Don't nobody know, not even my mom. Okay. Not my pops. Nobody. So, okay. So don't nobody know what you down low. So, with that being said, that's the point of what we're talking about. Now, were you threatening to be exposed? I ain't mad about. It's the thing that everybody finding out. You don't want people to find out? No, I'm talking about my family, like my mom and my daddy. You don't want them to find out? They're the only people. That you don't want to find out? Why not? Because I never told them myself. But I wanted to tell them before. You want to tell them what? That you down low? Yeah, but can't. You want to tell them before this stuff happened? Yeah. Before my son told me. I knew. I looked at him. You know what I'm saying? We know our kids. You don't think you have tendencies that they don't know? Or they see people you hanging around, you don't think they know?
Devin was confronted with the video evidence and pressured further. The same doorbell camera that had captured him returning home at a few minutes after 4 a.m. also captured a dark figure leaving his house just under an hour later at 4:53. A camera across from the house on Devonshire Road captured the front steps of the property. Unfortunately, this camera was motion activated and sensitive to light. It did not capture the shooter entering. It did, however, capture the shooter in dark and blurry footage running from the house following the attack. That was approximately 4 minutes after someone had left Devin Robinson's home 2 blocks over. Then, someone was captured returning to the house on Buckingham at 5:01 a.m., only a few minutes after the shooting. The distance between the houses was only a quarter of a mile. It could be walked in 4 to 5 minutes. Someone running was likely to cover the distance in only 3. This meant that the footage of both houses aligned with the same dark figure making the trip, committing the murders, and returning nearly down to the second.
And when you go home, what do you do? You take a shower and go to sleep. Take a shower and go to sleep. You at home that whole time, right? Yes. Till what time? Until like 11 o'clock. A.m. Next one. Because we have videos of you going in the house and coming right back out shortly afterwards and going back to that house. Okay, we have videos of that. Because you just told me you left out at 11 o'clock. That's not true. Right. We have actual videos. So either you forgot or you lying to me. Which one is it? I didn't forget. I think I'm sorry. I'll tell you. I did. Well, you did. Because we had your video coming out. Going back to the house. So, I did. How you gonna make me? Cameras everywhere. We had cameras everywhere. Right. It's tracks. Traction. Right. Boom, boom, boom. You can piece all that together. Right. No bullshit. I'm listening to you. I need you to hear me. If you're listening, no, right. So I'm just saying. I'm just memory loss or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you what we tracked on video. Not just tracking from a dog. Which we can do that. We did that as well. Boom, boom, boom. In the house. Running. That's a fact.
Yeah, everybody making me mad, trying to say, you know everybody out here trying to act like you gay, right? That shit pissing me off. And don't.
Well, mama, just so you know, your son, he do like the men's. Like you like the women's, your son.
Apple don't fall too far from that tree, mama.
No. No, your son likes the men's, mama. So, just so you know.
I'm wondering what he told moms for them to dip.
To dip like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy. But mama gay, I mean.
Just still.
I mean.
I don't kill the game, man. Mama, let's go. A few of them.
Yeah.
Let me be out. It's gonna piss me all the way off. Man, they trying to make it seem like it's a hate crime. Girl walked up to me saying she been knowing you forever. You said girl walked up to you and said she knew me forever? Yeah. And she know how I am. People who know me know how I am. She was like, I would have never thought Lil Devin would have did something like that. If we had the death penalty, they would be trying to give you the death penalty, but they can't. The only thing they can do is give you a natural life in Michigan. Damn. So they basically trying to say because you did it because you hate gay people and all that shit. But see, that shit ain't gonna fly. You got sisters and mama that's lesbian. You feel me? You know that's not true. Exactly.
There was also discussion of Devin's case in comparison to his brother's, who pled out on his charges due to a co-defendant that was threatening to testify against him.
If it ain't no evidence to charge me by my court date, they gotta let me go. Not necessarily, Devin. They just can't do what they I did. Because they have nothing against him, and he pled to that shit, but you ain't gotta worry about no co-defendant. You feel me? That's what he was worried about, his co-defendant. Right. And I told the police I was gay. Okay. Yeah. So that should be out the window, that hate crime shit. Mm-hmm. Well, my thing is...
Why mama got so quiet?
Right. I did tell the police I was gay.
Crickets. Oh, okay. I think that kind of hit her like a ton of bricks. That's crazy.
If you ever felt like that way or something, don't be never afraid to come to me with that shit. Don't keep that kind of shit from me. I'm not.
The trial took place in March 2020.
It's packed full of emotion, right? We've got TV cameras, we've got 3 victims, we've got sex involved. This thing is, I'm sure, not part of your everyday life. All right? So right now, it's time to put both feet on the ground, take a deep breath. We're here, we're real, we're relaxed. We're going to make them prove it.
It's something what's known as a trade. A trade is someone who holds themselves out as heterosexual, but has interest in people of the same sex, but they're on the down low. So they're referring to him as a trade, and then they're laughing, giggling, saying, oh, he is gay, he is gay. Eventually, the defendant leaves, and Paris is seeing him off out the front door. Paris is happy, but it's while he's watching their interaction. And the defendant is standing there just completely blank. And Blair is watching this happen. He never thought it was a good idea to bring a stranger home from the gas station in the first place, and even complained about it to the homeowner when it's out of the ring.
Blair Keys told the jury about the house party, in particular how Devin was behaving. Quiet, emotionless, and cold. Blair had concerns that night about inviting him back to the house in the first place.
That because I really, like, at that time, like, I was the type of person that's like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. If y'all want to bring a random boy from a gas station, that's on y'all. But I did tell him, like, you know, I didn't like the fact that they did that because it's a random boy from a gas station, you know.
Why does this concern you?
It concerned me because it's a random guy from a gas station. Yeah, he was just chilling. Mm-hmm.
Does he say anything to these individuals? That are
no, the whole time he's not saying anything. He's just sitting there chilling the whole entire time. Not an emotion in his face.
What is the interaction between Paris and the defendant before he leaves?
They just exchange numbers.
How does the
And
defendant...
then after that hug, and Devon walks the way that he came.
How does the defendant look while Paris is talking to him?
He has just the very bland look. He said, oh yeah, I'll see you again. That's what he said when he left.
Blair then recounted the moment that the gunman burst in through the front door and began firing.
Me, Paris, Alante, Timothy, and Armand.
All right, and while you're sitting around laughing about this situation, what happened?
We hear footsteps. We think it's Lance. We hear, like, mind you, it's like kind of close to July, so we hear like little firecracker noises. It wasn't a big gun, but it was like pow, pow, pow. So we thinking it's Lance playing a joke. But then we see a guy with a ski mask come in. All I hear is Paris scream and gunshot.
What do you do?
I just sat there and waited for him to walk out the house. I was scared.
The defense's case relied on the inability of the two eyewitnesses, Blair and Armand, to formally identify Devin as the shooter. Though in the time that had passed since the murders, Blair had amended his statements. At trial, he told the jury that he did in fact get a clear enough look at the shooter to make an identification. He testified that Devin Robinson was the killer.
Are you able to identify the person who was the shooter that night?
Yes.
Why?
Only by skin complexion and eyes.
And what did that look like to you?
It looked like the same boy that came with the body.
The person sitting in the courtroom today, the defendant, Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
You didn't see the face of the shooter, did you?
No, but I got a good.
I'm asking, did you see the face of the shooter, yes or no?
No.
You really didn't look at who was shooting, correct?
I glanced. Yes. A 2-second shot and glance. Then I ran.
Armand Matthews recounted how he grabbed Timothy and ran down the stairs to the basement when the attacker began firing. He did not see the shooter as the two attempted to flee to safety down the stairs.
I was in the dining room area. I really could not see the front door. Blair seen everything. When I seen the gunshots, I immediately, first we were all, we were like, what are they? Are they fireworks? But, I grabbed Timothy and I rushed down to the basement and I had him with me. When we were running down the basement, he was saying something to me and immediately stopped talking. He grabbed my hand and put my hand where the bullet shot was on his chest.
Indicating for the record your hand is on your chest.
Yes. And I held pressure. I ran back upstairs because I heard Blair screaming. I ran back upstairs to make sure everything all right. I see Teddy and Paris curled up in the corner. I called 911. I stayed on the phone with 911. I ran back downstairs. I held pressure on Miami because he was still breathing. Timothy. He was looking at me. And I held pressure on him. And I stayed on the phone until the cops got there. When the cops got there, she put her gun to my face, made me take pressure off of Timothy. And I believe that is when he really lost his life.
Your prior testimony, you've indicated that you didn't see the individual shooting, did you?
I did not.
Devin Robinson's defense was weak. The cameras tracked the movements of the shooter, which had aligned with someone coming and going from his house. There was never an alternative theory presented to account for these movements, either an explanation of where Devin had been during that window of time, if not the murder scene, or even a suggestion that the figure in the camera was simply someone else. Devin did not take the stand.
He didn't want anyone to know about his sexuality. He went home that night and he knew that they were all going to be talking. It was all going to be all over the neighborhood. You heard even Armand tell you he moved out of that neighborhood because he didn't feel like he could be a gay male in that neighborhood. And I know you're gonna hear about how the mom has a girlfriend and how the sister has a girlfriend too. The reality is, for this family, it is different from them. And you hear that from the defendant's mouth. It's the thing. Everybody was gonna know. Everybody was gonna find out. My mom was gonna find out. My dad was gonna disown me. And so he makes an even stupider decision to get dressed in black clothing, head down towards Brunswick, over to Devonshire, kill all these people, come running back out towards Buckingham, back in the house. Again, you would have to believe, after all of this, that some random person went for an 8-minute walk at the exact time of the shooting. That's not what happened. This is the defendant. The defendant did this.
He didn't threaten anybody. He didn't swear at anybody. He didn't say, oh, I'm ashamed of what I did. He was a willing participant. He has got absolute no reason in the world to go and shoot 3 individuals.
The jury returned with their verdicts across all counts.
Devin Robinson. As to count 1, homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated, Alante Davis.
We find the defendant guilty.
How do you find the defendant as to count 2, homicide, first degree, premeditated, Timothy Blanchard?
Guilty.
And as to count 3, homicide, first degree, premeditated, Paris Cameron.
Guilty.
As to count 4,
Devin Robinson was sentenced to 3 life terms without the possibility of parole for first-degree murder, 10 to 20 years for 2 counts of assault with intent to murder, and 2 years consecutively for felonies with a firearm, 10 counts in total. Devin appealed his conviction on the grounds that there had been insufficient evidence to identify him as the shooter. That appeal was not successful. In April 2025, the Michigan Supreme Court ruled that mandatory life sentences for individuals under the age of 21 are a harsh and disproportionate punishment. Young convicts such as Devin were able to retroactively seek resentencing. At the time of publication, Devin's record shows that he is serving his time at the Chippewa Correctional Facility in Michigan. His earliest release date is listed as June 2nd, 2056. Family and friends of Paris Cameron, Alante Davis, and Timothy Blanchard continue to honor and celebrate their memory. The friends are remembered for their silly and fun-loving personalities, young lives cut short over late-night transgressions, and the toxic shame of a violent stranger.
I'm still wondering what he told his mama to have them move out the house the very next day, or was that like planned, something that they were already gonna do?
I highly doubt that.
Yeah,
I highly doubt that. I think he probably just ran in the house, was like, look, Mom, I can't explain right now, but we gotta go. We have to go right now. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Don't stop, don't pass go. We gotta go. You know, and then she was just like, oh, okay, because of
right.
But because honestly, it did seem like she genuinely didn't know, the way that she got quiet when he said, well, I did tell the police I was gay. Mm-hmm. And then after that, she's like, okay, but if you really are, like, don't hide that shit from me. Right. Like, you know,
tell me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he just made like a you know, like, I just did something. We have to go now.
Don't ask questions, we gotta go.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the family still stuck by him afterwards. Mm-hmm. But I believe that they knew at that point. I mean, why would your son come in talking about we gotta go? Like, we gotta go.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole family knows by now. Yeah. Well, by the time of the trial, at least, because I mean, you can't really hide that. That's surrounding the entire trial. You were there. You was doing the do. You was, and then with a few of them at that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's kind of what it all surrounds around. So they all know. Mama knows. Everybody knows. He's out. He probably feels better, even though he has to spend the rest of his life in jail. He just
right
or prison. He probably feels better now.
And now he get to be with a bunch of men. Yeah.
But, rest in peace to those poor innocent, you know, souls that were, you know, unalived by him. That is unfortunate. I mean,
back to the point that you were saying. I mean, you just gotta really be careful.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I mean, inviting strangers over. I mean, you don't know this person from Adam. You know.
That's scary. Yeah.
That is scary.
Yeah. These days, it's not the same as what it was back in the day, I guess. You know, like when our parents were young. Like, things are like different now.
Yeah.
You pretty much can't trust nobody. Like, you can't just be bringing strangers in your house. I think
you really
things
can't.
Are sweet.
Right.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. First, we want to give a big shout out to Just Thought Lounge for this video. Thank you so much for providing this video so that we were able to react to it. We appreciate it. Also, before we go, we want to make sure that we, again, thank you for getting us to 2,000. Now we're on the road to 3,000, so you already know what to do. Please make sure that you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share this video with everybody. Yes. Turn on your post notifications so that you know every single time we post. And
3,000 ain't hard, guys. We got this.
Facts.
Yes.
And until next time, this has been In Cahoots Podcast. My name is Nikki.
And I'm Melissa.
And we'll see you in the next video.